in because I needed to go. Hey, hold on right now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. It is story time. We're about to get this party started right now. And I want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. Once again, my name is Crystal Bodie Smith. And you know how we do. We start this party off by simply saying, it's my time to shine. I'm going to get me my own theme song after a while. I actually did one. Auntie Gina did one. But until then, we're going to kick it off like we normally do. Y'all know how we do. We started off with a little bit of music and letting everybody know it's their time to shine. All right. Andromeda, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming out here today. We are so excited to have you here with us today. This young lady is out of Dallas, Texas, everybody. Dallas, Texas. And she is so talented. If you have not followed her, we're going to let you know who she is, and you're going to know who she is before the night is over. So I want to say welcome to you all. If you're coming in, let us know where you're coming in from, and we're going to get this party started. Drama, welcome. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing amazing. Now that I'm in the right place at the right time, because it's been a long day. It's been a long day, but you know what they say, the show must go on. So I'm excited. Listen, for the people on Instagram, they know who you are, and there are some people in Texas who know, but there may be some people out here that may not know who Andromeda is. Can you tell the people who is Andromeda, that little girl? Who is Andromeda, that little girl?
Sure. So I'm Andromeda Jones, born and raised in Augusta, Georgia, moved to Atlanta, then I moved to Dallas, Texas. I am a mother of two. I have a daughter and I have a son. My daughter's 23. My son is 7. I started my comedy career 2 years ago here in Dallas, Texas. And since then, I have been on stages with people I never would imagine. Bill Bellamy, Rudy Rush, Steve Brown, Spank Horton, Naeem Lynn of the Plastic Cup Boys. I'm currently on 50 Cent's pop-up tour. So be on the lookout for that. We're about to start back up on those dates with Delay. I've been, I can't even think right now. I've been on stages that have been pretty amazing in my little short time.
Wow. So listen, 40 years old, mother of a son and a daughter, just starting out in comedy. Because you do hair, right?
Yes, I'm a hairstylist by trade.
Read somewhere that you you don't just do hair, but you slay hair. You said Andromeda tells jokes and she slays hair.
So before I started out doing hair, then I became a celebrity hairstylist. I've done quite a few celebs, and some of them, when they come to Dallas, I still do their hair. So yeah, actress. I've been in probably 40 to 50 films. I've been in commercials. I've done probably 50 stage plays. I went to school for arts in high school. Gymnast, classically trained ballet dancer, track star in high school, softball, basketball, cheerleader. I was in the band. I've done a lot.
So let's go back. Let's go back. I got to find out, how did you put yourself in position to do all these things? When you were a child, were you a big dreamer?
No. So when I was a kid, I saw stuff on TV and wanted to do it. And I would tell my mom, I want to do that. And she was like, okay. So I just started doing stuff. And my mom realized, grateful to her, she realized I was very gifted, not only books, because my mom knew I was very intelligent, graduated in the top of my class, but my mom also recognized I had a gift for arts, whether it be drawing. Like when I got accepted to the school for arts, it was for art, acting, and ballet. So my mom recognized very early those were my talents. Anything artistic, she kind of was like, if she want to do it, I'm going to let her do it, because I was in the chorus in high school. I used to sing. So she just fed into the artistic side of me, and I'm very grateful for that.
Wow. So what was the very first show that you did, whether it was acting, comedy? Where did it begin for you? What do you remember that first time?
My first time ever touching a stage, I was 4, and it was a jazz and tap concert. So that was my very first time on stage, and I just remember being so excited that everybody was clapping for me at the end. And I think I just never got over the clapping at the end portion of performance. Like I've always enjoyed that and it wasn't about me. It was about, I just made these people happy. Like I just remember feeling like they're clapping because they're happy. I associated it with them and not with me. And my mom was like, they were clapping for you. And I was like, no, they were happy. So that's just always how I've seen it. Is like I make people happy with whatever I'm doing at that time.
So you never got shy on stage?
No, I don't think so. Mm-mm. Nope.
You know, some people,
I
they
get
have
nervous, but not shy.
really. So you never forgot your lines? And I don't know what just happened because she just went away on me, but she'll be back. You know, with technology, it always happens, guys. You just never know what to expect when you're on the internet. You know, things will happen and you just never know, but she'll be back in a moment. But Andromeda is so gifted. If you are on Instagram, I need you to come on and meet me back over here on YouTube, because this young lady is very talented. APW Shout Crystal. Come on over here to APW Shout Crystal and check her out and hear her story and see what she's talking about. Hi, Patricia. Thank you so much for coming over. I see you. So, King, all of you, just come on over here. Definitely. Yeah, we know how the internet can be. I was just telling people.
No, somebody called and I declined it, and then it kicked me out.
Yeah, that's why I did. You put it on Do Not Disturb?
You know it. They shouldn't call back.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. It seems as though you have a knack for getting a position, or getting, you know, having the opportunity to audition and to be at the right place, whether it was a stage play, a film, a comedy show. Where did that come from? Where did you get that from? Did you learn that? Did you go to school somewhere to learn how to be prepared, or was it just a natural ability of yours?
It's absolutely preparation. I'm always prepared. I'm very much an introvert, so I don't like what I call peopling. I try not to be around. I'm always home. I like to be by myself. I like to be solo, which is another reason I enjoy the arts, because it's, at the end of the day, no matter what you do, it's an individual sport. So whether I'm on stage or in a film, I'm responsible for my lines, and I'm responsible for your lines too, because if you don't know them, I have to know how to get you to your line without saying your line. I have to clue you in to where you need to be. So I've always had the gift of being able to work independently, which is why I'm a hairstylist. I don't play well with others. I can, but I hate it. I've never liked group projects, which is why I ran track and I didn't last long in basketball, because I don't like to have to work as a group. I want to do my part and you do your part, and then we just put it together and it's done.
Wow. So, was you good at basketball?
Yeah, I was good at basketball.
Was you a guard, or what position did you play?
Point guard. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you have that 3-pointer, girl?
No, I have a 3-pointer. I get you a good layup though. I was good enough to be on the team, but I didn't feel the way about basketball that I felt about track or soccer or tennis. I didn't feel the same way. Basketball, I really only played because to get to track, we had to do something in between those sports. Our track coach, you had to do some other sport to keep you in shape all year long. So all year we had to do something. So I just played basketball. And then when I realized I can just cheer, I stopped playing basketball and became a cheerleader.
Wow. So when did the hairstyling come about? When did you start doing hair, and did you have your own salon?
So I had a suite. I still do. Well, I started doing hair because I got laid off from corporate America in 2012. And I said I will never get laid off again. So I started doing hair and I never got laid off again.
Wow. And what's your specialty?
Natural hair.
Natural hair. And you started attracting celebrities. Now, how did that happen? Because there are a lot of hairstylists in salons, and I'm sure if there was a way that they can boost their clientele up and get some celebrities, they would want to know. How would you advise any salon owners or hairstylists to be able to attract celebrities to them if that's what they want to do?
So I'm in the industry already. So being in the industry already, even if I'm not in your film or I'm not in your play, I can do hair. So it would be like, we need a hairstylist for this film, or we need a hairstylist for this play. Well, you already know me. So they use me. And then that celebrity be like, well, next time I'm in Dallas, you got me. And it just started from there.
Okay, but what if there's an individual watching you that does the replay, they do hair, and they aspire to do celebrities hair? What would be something you could tell them, because they're not in the industry? How can they attract them to them?
I wouldn't be able to answer that because everything that has worked out for me has not been me. It's been God and our preparation and just somebody knowing me that says, oh, I know she can do this. So I wouldn't be able to tell you other than get your portfolio together and have something to present. If you want to slide in their DM, don't just send them to your IG. Have a website. Have something readily available that if they say, well, let me see your work, you have it. You're not looking for it. You're not swiping through your phone trying to find a picture between pictures of your kids. Already have everything already laid out for them to find. Because if you go to my hairstyling website, on my Instagram, I don't think I put anything on there probably the past 2 or 3 years. I haven't posted anything on there, but I still get clients.
And I'm sure you get a lot of referrals.
Mm-hmm. Referrals is big business. That's how you make your money.
Yeah, big business comes from personal referrals. Probably better than any ad you can ever place anywhere. Let's talk about the acting career. I know that you've been in many, many stage plays and films. What did you enjoy most? The stage plays or the film?
I like stage plays. I like the end. I like the audience. I like the instant gratification of knowing I know right now that you enjoyed it. When I do a film, I might not ever know you enjoyed it. You might not ever go see it. So I love stage. I love theater too because it's on the spot. And I'm a risk taker. So I like that room for error. I like knowing that somebody might mess up and we're going to have to figure out how to save it. And it has happened. I've been on stage and somebody forgot their line and we had to work it out and get them to where we needed to be. So I've always enjoyed that aspect. And not only do I do on stage or on camera, I'm also a behind the scenes person. I've stage managed. My first time directing, I directed R.I.P. Tommy Ford. I posted that on my Instagram. I've directed Columbus Short. I've worked with Pooch Hall. I've worked with Mama D of Love and Hip Hop. I've worked with Malaysia Pargo. I've worked with Terry J. Vaughn from Steve Harvey's show. I've worked with I've worked with a lot of people. I've worked with Darren Henson. I've worked with I can't even think. I work with a lot of people.
Wow. And you're so humble and so down to earth. So that's good. So a lot of people, when they get those type of accolades, they forget where they came from. Do you think you'll ever be a person to forget where you came from?
Absolutely not. And it's because I know you can always go back. And you don't have to stay where you are, good or bad.
That's right. And I heard you say that you give credit to God for what you have been able to accomplish. So that lets me know that you put God first and you're walking in favor. It sounds like you definitely have favor because of the thing that you've accomplished in a short amount of time. So what do you want to see happen next in 2023 that you haven't done?
That I haven't done? A blockbuster film. That would be ideal. Even if it's just a small enough role to where I can say, oh, that was me. And it go real fast. I'll take it. I would love a blockbuster role, like a role in a large film with a big name for 2023.
Wow. And now, Andromeda, tell me about your children. A lot of times when there's children in the picture, do they look at you as a celebrity? Do they look at you and say, man, my mom is on stage. She's doing her thing. How do they perceive you?
So my 7-year-old, when he sees some of the people that I talk to, one day he asked me, this was like maybe 3 or 4 months ago. He said, Mom, are you famous? And I was like, no. He was like, well, how do you were talking, because I don't know if you know Coca Brown.
Yes.
So we're really good friends. And my son and her son play, he's probably on the phone with him right now. They play Roblox together or something on the phone. But he was just like, are you famous? Because he sees who I talk to and he sees them on TV or he sees them wherever. And it's amazing to him. So he doesn't really understand. He knows I go and he'll say, where are you going? You going to do a comedy show? And I'm like, yeah. And I let him go with me once when me and D-Lay had a show. So he got to kind of see behind the scenes and he got to see me go out on the stage. He just is kind of trying to figure it out. My 7-year-old, my daughter, the perk that she loves is like the 50 Cent tour. She loves that she can just go and be in the mix with like all these big names. So for her, she don't care about me. It's Mama, can you introduce me to? So that's her thing.
I remember that when I used to do things in the industry. You're right. The children get excited about the exposure. It makes them feel like they're special as well. Now, out of all the celebrities that you've been in contact with, who has influenced you the most?
You know what? I have to go with my mentor, Delay. And only because when we met on Instagram officially, like that was the first time he ever laid eyes on me. He had heard of me, but he had never seen me. But in the pandemic, we're all at home. So all we had to do was to get on the internet. So we were on IG and he was on live and he saw me commenting. He was like, your name sounds so familiar. So he brought me in and I told him how I was. And he was just like, yo, when the world opens back up, I want to put you on the show. And I had only been doing comedy like maybe 3 or 4 months then. And I'm this type of person. If you offer me an opportunity and you don't ask for my credentials, I'm not giving them to you. I'm just going to show up and do the job. So he didn't ask how long I had been doing comedy. And I was like, I'm not going to tell him. I'm going to show up and I'm going to kill. And I was so nervous because, again, 3 or 4 months, I had only done an open mic and a competition. And I won the competition. I had not touched any other stages. When I went on stage with D-Lay at the Improv, which is one of the biggest clubs in the country, there's improvs all over the country. That was my third time doing comedy. I had no idea what I was going to say or do. And I went up there and killed 6 shows that weekend. And D-Lay was like, yeah. And after, I was like, yo, that was just like my third time. He was like, what? I was like, you offered, I wasn't turning it down.
Wow.
And we've been together ever since.
So you have the confidence level of someone who's been in the industry for a decade. Where did that confidence come from?
I don't have confidence. It's not confidence. I do everything afraid. I just feel like if I'm afraid of it, I gotta do it now because I want to know why. Why am I afraid of this? Am I afraid of it because I'm going to find out I'm not capable, or am I afraid of it because I'm afraid because I'm going to be so good? Like, I want to know why I'm afraid of this. So if it's something that I feel like it's going to be easy or, I got that, I'm probably not going to do it. I'm procrastinating. But if it scares me, I'm doing it.
That's great. That's good advice. So what has been your hardest challenge in all of this?
Being taken serious, because a lot of veteran comics, I shouldn't say a lot, because I will say this, they've been very welcoming of me. But there are veteran comics that feel like she going too fast. Like, y'all keep pulling her in these spaces and she ain't did the work. She hasn't done the work. She isn't doing the work. And I respect that. And I respect what they had to do to come up. But I also recognize this is a new day and age. And I'm also not going to stunt my growth by refusing that hand up, because you may never get it again. So, of course, I won't take an opportunity and shoot myself in the foot. Like, I wouldn't take a show in an arena. I'm smart enough to know, even though it would terrify me, I'm terrified because I'm definitely not ready for an arena show. So I'm not an idiot, and I'm not remiss on the fact that there are some things I absolutely should not do, but I know that I am capable, of certain other things. So I wouldn't foolishly take an opportunity that I know could potentially ruin me, and I'm just getting started. But if you offer me an improv, like when I got that call from Bill Bellamy's team, I was like, I am in the car now and dressed on my way. So it's just been, I don't know, it's been crazy, but it's been so fun, and I appreciate how D-Lay has kind of drugged me along the way. Like, he'll call me and be like, hey, I got this. Do you want it? And I'm like, I want it. He was like, I don't know why I asked. Come on.
Well, the good book says, if you ask, it shall be given unto you. You knock, the door shall be open. And it seemed to me that your faith is, there, and you believe. Sometimes they say you just have to believe, and you believe in yourself, and there's nothing nobody can do. So you step out on your faith every time, and I commend you on that. And I see it all over you. It's a glow, and at the pace you're going, anything is possible. Anything is possible. You want that blockbuster film? It's already done, because you spoke it into existence. And the way that you're doing it, I see that you're a woman of integrity. I mean, I see that you're a positive individual. And obviously, you have a good name. Your name goes a long way, And
I'm learning that. I did not realize how many other people respect my name. And I know something like that is important, but I just wasn't thinking about it for me. You know what I mean? Like, you know how other people, if somebody says Ali Sadiq, oh my, everybody stops. And my name is not like that, but that shows how important a name is, where people can just stop. So I've recognized that my name may not be recognized, so to speak, for being this amazing comedian, but I pay attention to how often people say to me, I'm a good person.
Yes.
So I think that's what matters to me. Even if you don't think I'm this amazing, crazy, funny, I like being known as a good person, and I value that people feel that way about me. Now I go off on you now. Don't get me wrong. Don't play with me. But I always lead with good intentions, and I always try to be a good person and treat people how I want to be treated, because you never know, especially in today's world where we went through this isolation period that nobody was expecting. And as an introvert, I thrived. I love the shutdown. But there are people that are dealing with so many things that are the fallout of the pandemic: finances, people lost jobs, children are behind in school. And in addition to the parents having to go to work, they're still having to try to catch their kids up. People are just having a rough time. And then now we have where the economy can't afford nothing. Eggs, $1,000 a dozen. So you never know when you may say one ugly thing and that was the last thing that person could take. So I try to be good to everybody. And if I can't be good, I'll be nothing. And that's how I live my life. If I feel like I'm having a bad day and I can't be good to somebody, I want to be anything to anybody. I will stay away from people, because I don't like when people, you know you in a bad mood. Stay away from people. Don't burden people with your struggle. Deal with that at home with your therapist or whoever you deal with that with. But don't burden people with your ugly when everything could just be so pretty.
I agree. I agree. Like they say, if you don't have nothing positive to say, don't say anything at all. So when you're on stage, I read somewhere that you like to tell stories. There are some comedians, they write their scripts, and there's some people they get the audience and they get on them. So you're a storyteller, huh?
Kind of. So I do a little setup middle punch. I do a little setup punchline stuff, but I do some story. I don't know. I'm very sporadic, like much like my life, because I may say I'm going to talk about this, and then I may see somebody in the audience and totally change what I want to talk about. So it just kind of depends. Or I may be like this conversation tonight. Prime example, Sunday. So I was doing a show with the Plastic Cup Boys, and I went live before while I was just waiting to go. And me and one of the guys, a comic, came on the live, and we were talking, and I said something, and it was hilarious, and I took it to stage like an hour later. So it just depends.
Wow. So who hasn't drama been on the stage with yet that you cannot wait to get on stage with?
Some more.
Oh, wow. I saw
Some
you light
more.
up when you say that.
Yeah, that is my goal, man. Some more. And I would love to get on stage for Ali Sadiq too, but if I have to just pick some more.
Ali is something. He was just here in Raleigh, North Carolina last month, and I went to see him in person. I'm telling you, he's amazing on the Instagram, but in person, wow.
Ali has been another person that I can talk to and say, hey, he give me a hard time, but he is in my corner.
Yes, and he's good people. And you know what I love about him? Everything is so relatable. He's talking about real life situations that we all go through. Are you the type that when you tell your stories, you're talking about real life situations?
Yeah, I can't talk about nothing fake. I'm not going to make up something to talk about. I want to talk about something I can relate to, because one thing I do know, if you talk about you ain't never going to run out of stuff to talk about. I've been on this earth 40 years. There's a lot of stuff I can talk about me, and you can't forget you. Like, if you make up something to talk about, you can get lost. Especially if it's something you don't know about. I don't know any more about anything than me. I know all about me. I can talk about me all day long. So I can't talk about a made up subject.
And I know that you started out. Did you start out hosting?
Mm-hmm. No, well, see, that's okay. So, like I said, my first thing was open mic. My second thing was a competition, and then my third thing was delay, and I was hosting for delay. And then I went from hosting to a feature spot, then back to hosting with delay. So basically, I hosted with delay up until our last 3 shows. Yeah, and then I started featuring.
So, what did it take to be a good host?
A good time. You gotta come with everyone in mind. You have to come with knowing the host has to make everybody have fun. You have to warm the stage up so that everybody is having if the comedian bombs, the feature, you got to be the person to bring that energy back up. So you got to have energy. You have to be relatable. You have to make them want to talk to you. So when you host, you want to talk to everybody, make everybody comfortable, make everybody feel what I do. You want to make everybody feel loved and welcome. You want to let them know that you are glad they are there. You're glad they exist. You appreciate them. People love when you feel appreciated. Stuff a whole lot funnier. When you feel like somebody appreciates you bringing your hard-earned dollars and putting them in their pocket. So I just try to treat people how I treat people in life. Like, I want you to have a good time. You have to be able to identify different ethnic groups, different genders, different communities, LGBTQIA plus. Like, you have to be able to encompass everyone and make them feel like they are welcome. These are guests in
Yes.
your home.
Yeah. Now, out of all the places that you've gone, what state did you feel the most love? What audience was it that made you go, oh man, I got to go back there?
So it's two for two reasons. So Columbia, South Carolina, mainly because I had 33 people come from Augusta, Georgia, drive to
Wow.
Columbia, South Carolina to see me. And
Wow.
then, so that, of course, felt love. And then Houston, Texas, when we did the first pop up for 50 Cent, that was with him in the audience, and it was sold out, and just the energy there. Everybody was so excited because it was the first one. So it was just a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
There was a lot of PR about that thing with 50 cents. So how
Mm-hmm.
did you get involved with that? So like I said, you
Delay
always delay makes it happen for you.
dragging me along, man. Delay opening one door has opened so many others. It, like you were talking about a name, how his name on me and people associating me with him is like it's gold. It's like, oh, that's Delay's protege. Book her. Like it's been crazy. But
And
I also know to
he's
take this
funny.
serious
He's funny.
because
Now, let's talk about that for one moment. He found you on the internet. There are a lot of people trying to get themselves known on the internet. There are a lot of people just trying to be funny if they're a comedian. What would you advise them to do so that somebody could find them the way you were found?
be authentic, be who you are. Don't beg. It's okay to ask, but once you ask and you get an answer, now it's time to show and prove. So I never asked Delay for anything. I would just be on live, and then he would cam me up, and we would just have a good time. I was being me, and then his fans. Since I hooked up with Delay, I think when I met him, I only had like 500 followers on Instagram. I still don't have a whole lot because I'm not a Instagram social media heavy person. I'm getting better now in 2023. I promised myself at least once a day I would post something. So I've been doing really good about that. But I was just being me, and people loved me. And then they loved us, and we can't. He and I together is a magic that is unexplainable.
I gotta go see y'all together and see this live. Now you have on a shirt. Did you make that T-shirt?
Yeah, this is my merch that I sell at my shows. I was only selling it at shows, but now if you want one, I'll ship them out.
And so you have a whole T-shirt line.
Yes, it's my website, Gumbo, GUMBHEAUX. It's in my bio on my Instagram if you follow my Instagram. But yeah, I have a whole line of shirts, and they're aimed at empowering women, Black women specifically, because I'm a Black woman. I can't speak for any other race of women, but I specialize and cater to Black women for my brand because I believe for a long time, Black women have been taught we have to be quiet, we have to be submissive, not to men, but to society in general. We should hold our tongue. We should put our head down and just work. So I created a brand that is outspoken and speaks for me and many other women because I believe Black women are multifaceted, multi-talented, multi-dimensional, and we should be able to exist in all those dimensions. So I have shirts that say Black women sparkle, melanin muse, because our melanin is the muse. We inspire everyone. The Kardashians get their booty, hips, and lips done because of us. They want to look like a Black woman. They date our Black men. And then I also have shirts that say pristine pussy because we have pretty pussies and it be good and hustling hoe because we hustling. And I don't mean hoe as in like a street corner prostitute. If you do that, that's fine too. But I mean hoe as in HEAUX. We classy with the hoe. So hoe doesn't mean you giving out your goodies. Hoe can just mean like you got your foot in everything and everyone. Like I'm doing all of this because I can.
Wow. Now, do I have that on the screen
Yep.
correct?
You got gumbo. Yep.
One act drama. And then for your hairstyles, it's the second one. And then for your t-shirts, it's the third one. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
Wow. So which one of those things really are you the most passionate about?
As far as what?
As far as your careers, I mean, 5 years from now, what would you like to be doing? If you had to choose one thing, what would you be doing?
See, it's hard to choose between comedy and acting because there's a longevity and there's a, what do you call it? There's longevity and a dedication, and there's the time that I put into acting since I was 5. But then comedy is the new, fresh, exciting thing that I'm good at. So it's hard to choose between my old faithful and that I know I'm good at, and comedy that I'm still figuring out, but I'm good at that too. So it will
Well,
be
I
really
hope
hard.
that those of you on Facebook, LinkedIn, if you have not seen her, are there some things on social media that they need to go look for?
So because I'm new in comedy, I don't really post my set because big fish eat little fish. So you post something that's funny, somebody take it. I have no stake in the game because I'm the little fish. Nobody knows me. But if you have 50,000 followers and you do my set and you put it on social media, now it looks like I stole yours, even though I did it first and you got it from me. And we saw that with Precious Hall, where Leslie Jones did her joke and it was stolen, but Precious didn't have a stake in the game because you're the little fish. This is somebody who was in a blockbuster film, Ghostbusters. So now it's her joke. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So I don't post my set. I post crowd work sometimes. I do post that because it's just me talking to the crowd. So I post that because that's pretty safe. But even some of that I don't post because some stuff you can use over and over. I may say something on the fly about somebody with locks. Well, I can use that again because it's probably 9 times out of 10 somebody else with locks is going to be in the next audience. So I wouldn't post something like that because I can now incorporate that in my set and crowd work. So I post a little. I mostly do like TikToks and Reels.
Okay, so you would like for the people to follow you on which platform?
One act drama, because I don't post hair stuff because I'm not accepting new clients. And Gumbo, if you want some merch, that's on my One Act Drama page too.
Okay, so follow her at One Act Drama. And any upcoming roles coming soon in 2023?
No upcoming roles because I'm can't speak on it now, but I've put some stuff in play to do some bigger things. So waiting on that. But now Cream, which is a film on Tubi and Amazon Prime, came out in December. I'm in that. I play the mother of the main character. I play the co-star. I have Wild Women Trip, which is also on Tubi and Amazon Prime. I have Deceptions of Love on Tubi and Amazon Prime. Belle, Tubi, Amazon Prime. BEL. I play the main character of Belle in that film. Through Treasure's Door, I play a psychiatrist on that film. I have coming out, Love and Drugs 2, which is on all platforms. And then Love and Drugs 3 is about to come out. I'm in that film. It should be out February. I think it comes out around Valentine's Day. If you just put my name in on Tubi, a bunch of stuff will pop up. I'm in a lot of stuff on Amazon Prime.
I'm so excited for you. You really are doing your thing. I mean, you are really making a name for yourself. I mean, so I see that probably by 2025, the sky is the limit. Like, you're going to be in a major film somewhere and some big things about to happen for you because you have the right attitude. You know, you're fearless. And a lot of people talk about being fearless, but you are really the definition of fearless, like for real. I've spoken to a lot of people. I've done about 100 interviews, but you have that fearless attitude, and that's what people need. You know, when Steve Harvey used to say jump, I see you jumping. I see you leaping.
The worst that can happen is I fail and either realize that's not for me, or B, it is for me, but I need to figure out how to do it better. And that's the only way. Like, and if you don't try it, you don't know. So I don't have a fear of failure. I have a fear of not knowing. Can I or can't I? I don't
Wow.
care about failing. That doesn't bother me.
That's powerful. To have a fear of not knowing versus failing. You will never leave this earth saying, I wish I would have tried this. Or, I mean, you're going to try everything that you
Yeah,
want.
as long as it won't kill me. Like I'm not jumping off a bridge. I'm not skydiving. I'm not that curious. But yeah, like it's just a microphone. Like that's just how I see it. It's just a stage. It's just an audience. It's like somebody is going to like me no matter what. Somebody is.
Have you had any bad experience? Have you had one experience that ever made you say, okay, I'm not doing this? And then you had to kind of somebody had to talk you back into it. You have to build yourself back up. Any bad experience at all?
In comedy?
And on the stage, period.
No. Not on stage. No. I don't think I've had a moment where I was like, I can't do this. Mm-mm. I've had a moment where, like, I did a show where I knew it wasn't my best, and I knew it wasn't going to be my best before I did it. But I took a lesson from it. I learned to never do a show where I feel compromised, because it was a show where the subject matter, number one, it was too many people, and then there was a lot of sucking penis and sex. Like, all the jokes are very sexual driven, which there's nothing wrong with. But for me, I don't want the whole, everybody, it was 6 of us on the show and everybody was talking about it. And I just got burned out. Like, I just felt like, oh my God. And I remember I turned to one of the comedians and I was like, girl, pardon my language, I said, but how much dick are we sucking tonight? Like, because everybody just kept talking about it. And my
Right.
set does not have that at all.
Right.
So when I went up, I was so defeated because I was just like, y'all, we better than this. And it was like one girl was she was doing good, but because the 3 people before her had talked about it and she wasn't getting this roar of laughter from everybody, it was like she ditched what she was doing and immediately was like, but who all like sucking dick? And I was like, no, like, stay in your thing, do your thing, like, do what you do and make them like you. Don't make them like you because of what somebody else is doing. I'm gonna make you like me and what I'm doing. I don't care what nobody else doing, because if you like me because I did what they did, you didn't like me then. You like somebody that I represented. I'm gonna be me and authentically me at all times. You gonna like me and what I say. So when I went up, it was a white lady on the show, and she's made a joke about kids in Africa and how they was sending money, and her husband lost her job and they needed to send him money. And I was pissed about that because it was very insensitive to this all black audience. And then at the end, she said something about, I'm sick of niggas. And it was supposed to be like a play on something somebody else said, but you a 70-year-old white woman. Like, I was just so disgusted and defeated. And when I got up there, I literally said my set like this. I was like, so yeah, such 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 such. I just said my set so I could go. And I didn't wait for my money. I just left. And then
Wow.
the lady the next day messaged me and was like, hey, what's your cash app? And then I gave it to her, but I didn't even care if they paid me because I was just ready to go. And I called Steve Brown in my car on the way home and was like, Steve, I feel so disgusted. And he was like, why not explain? He was like, you should have left. You should have never done the show. And I was like, well, I committed to it. He was like, yeah, but you committed and then you got up there and didn't do what you do. And I performed with Steve several times. He was like, you didn't do what I know you do. You should have left.
And I like what you said when you said you will never compromise yourself. A lot of people do that. They get in the industry and they lose themselves in trying to make a dollar. So that's respectable. And that's going to take you far. Somebody said, where are you from? She's from Texas. Well, you live in Texas. Is that where you're originally from too?
No, I'm from Augusta, Georgia.
Okay. So she's from Georgia, but she lived in Texas. So what is your weakness? I hear a lot of strength. What is your weakness? What is something that you want to work on and get better at?
Comedy. I want to do more stages. I want to do more workouts. When I say stages, I mean like workouts, not just these. Because now I don't really work out a lot. and in comedy terms, that means you go to an open mic, not being paid. It might be 2 people there, might be nobody there. It's just comics working material. So I want to get better at working material. Me and D-Lay talk about it all the time, where I have a gift of, I'll write something right now. Bill Bellamy experienced it with me. We were sitting and we were talking between shows, and I said something and he hollered laughing and was like, "You got to do that on stage." And I was like, "What?" He was like, "That was hilarious." And I was like, "Okay." So we had another show and it was time for me to go out, and I did it, and I came back. He was like, "What was that?" And I thought I did something wrong. And I was like, "I'm sorry." And he was like, "No, we literally just said that 30 minutes ago, and you did it like you've been doing it forever." And I was like, "Well, you told me to do it." He was like, "I didn't mean tonight. I just meant like work on it and then try it." He was like, "You killed it." And I was like, "Well, if you tell me to do something, I'm doing it." And you didn't say when, you said put it on stage. So I put it on stage. So I want to work on, even though I did find then it won't always work. So I want to get better at actually taking the time to go to a mic, write something, work on it, repetitive, because things are going so quickly for me. I haven't really had the time to do that. I'm literally booking a show where I just gotta go work. Like, you can't test material at the Improv. That's a show.
Right.
So I'm doing shows. So I want my weakness is I know if I'm good now, I can be great later. So I want to actually sit and do mics and just write some stuff and just work it.
That's excellent. Couple more questions, and I appreciate your time. When do you foresee yourself as a headliner? You've been a host, you've been an opening act, you've been a feature. When can we look to see Andromeda, the headliner?
When God tells me.
And it's coming.
When
It's
he
coming.
tells me, right now, I'll say this, I don't have enough material to do like an hour, 45 minute to an hour headliner, but I've done 30-minute headlining jobs. I've done 2 of those. So I'm capable of those. But when God says this is it, I know. Because even though now it's been times where I've been like, whenever God tell me, and it could have been like with comedy, people have been telling me for years. I have a screenshot in my phone that I saved. One of my good friends, RIP, Cortash, she died in the pandemic. But
Oh, I'm
in
sorry to hear that.
2012, I have a screenshot of a Facebook message where she said to me, please, because she had been saying for years, do stand up. So I have that screenshot where she said, do stand up. In my first show, she was there. The year she died, she was
Wow.
at my very first open mic when I was
Wow.
like, it was literally like one night I was doing a client and I was like, my friend keep telling me to try stand up. And my client was like, no, you really should. Like, you cracked me up in this chair. So I went home and I was like, I'm going to do it. And it was the 3rd week in December. So I found a mic on January 4th. And I said, I got on Facebook that morning and was like, yo, I'll be here. I'm doing stand up. And my friend that had been telling me for years to do it, it was like probably 12 people showed up. And I just did it. And I was only supposed to do 5 minutes. And they kept saying it was probably 50 people. They were like, keep going. And I
Wow.
just kept, and I didn't have material. I was just talking. And I just kept going. And there was another comedian there. He was like, how long you been doing this? And I was like, tonight. And he was
Wow.
like, I got a show. And I want you on. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And he was like, you just did something.
Wow. Wow. Now that's inspiring. If I wanted to do comedy, that would inspire me to just go try it. So, because what I heard you say is just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, that's what you're saying. Just do it. Get out of your head and just do it. Like, so many times people are stuck in their head, over analyzing it, trying to figure it out. Just go do whatever it is you have to do and then build from that.
I can honestly say I'm rarely in my head. The thing, I'm never in my head about my gifts and my talents. Even if it's not comedy, like even if it's not specifically comedy, I'm never in my head about me. Because like I said, I've known me my whole life. So I know what I'm capable of. And I also know that when something is not working, I'm not going to force it. And I'll definitely abort something that's not right. And I'm never in my head about being a parent. I know I'm an amazing mother, and my children show me every day and tell me all the time that I'm doing a great job, even in times where I probably should second guess a decision I've made as a parent. I know I lead with good intentions and with the best heart for my kids, and I lead with wanting to make sure that whatever I do is a setup for something greater later. And I feel the same way about comedy. Anything I do, big or small, is a setup for something greater later. So I go in knowing that just take the first step, even when you can't see what's beyond that first step, because once you make the first one, there's so much stuff on the other side that you have not seen. If you stay here, you'll never know, and you'll only get what you got. And I don't want what I have. I want more. I want what's on the other side.
You heard it. I mean, Andromeda, you are a ball of fire. And the thing about it is, you got a baby that's 23. You look 23 yourself. Oh my goodness. I'm like, she said she got somebody 23-year-old daughter and a 7-year-old son. So what are you doing? Because you in shape. I mean, because for everything you do, you look in shape. I saw you practicing for that role where you were doing karate or something. You were fighting.
Yes, I had a fight scene in Love and Drugs 3 that's coming out in February, and it was intense training. And I'm grateful to God that I've always tried to stay in shape. You know, I've tried to treat I knew this body had, this only one I got. So it's got to get me a long way. So I just try to I have not worked out since last summer, which is bad me. I used to work out twice a day, 3 to 4 days a week, but just time, and I'm focused on my kids. Well, my son right now, my daughter's grown, but I focus on her too. But I dedicated my 39th birthday, year before last. I decided that it was going to be the year of me. And when I say the year of me, I decided from 39 to 40, I only cared about me. I was going to be selfish with me. My kids would ask me for stuff. And if it didn't feel like something that was going to feel good to me, I don't care how much fun it was going to be for them. No. And I can honestly say that was one of the best years of my life.
Wow.
Saying no to even, because that's hard as a parent, especially if you can. When you can and you just say no, that is very hard, because there was so much stuff I could absolutely do, and I would say no.
Wow.
And so I would say no for them because there was things I wanted to say yes to me for. So I took a year, and I was like, it won't hurt you to be selfish for 1 year of all my children's life, for me to take 365 days for me. I can do that. Like, it's okay. And that also carried me into 40, because it makes it so much easier for me to be okay with no for me. Not yes for you. It's no for me.
Now, Patricia says she needs to see you when you go to Chicago. Patricia Crawford. Listen, I want you to do me a favor. For the people, once again, who are just seeing you for the very first time, I'm going to put you on the screen by yourself. I want you to tell the people why they need to come see you. Who is Andromeda? What they can expect. Again, let them know the movies you have, where they can find it, and what you have coming up. I just want to give you the opportunity to let the people know who Andromeda is, where they can find her on the screen in their home, and where you're going to be next, wherever you're going to be performing next.
Okay. So my name is Andromeda Jones. I'm a stand-up comedian, actress, host of other things. You can be on Instagram at the #1 ACT Drama 1 Act Drama. You can find me on Tubi in the Creams Film, Wild Woman Trip, Love and Drugs 2, Love and Drugs 3, which is soon to come out. Belle, Treasure's Door. Oh, just type my name on Tubi and it'll bring up things that I'm in there. I'm a hairstylist, but I'm not accepting new clients. You can find me on stage, coming to you. I start back auditioning for stage plays this year. As far as tour dates, we're on hold right now because our road manager had a horrible car accident. But me and D-Lay will be back out on the road, coming to a city near you. So watch his page, watch my page, and dates will start popping up for the 50 Cent pop-up tour. Come see me because I'm a good time. And I make sure the audience has a good time. I interact with the audience, not in a way that's going to make you uncomfortable, in a way that's going to make you feel loved, appreciated, and just show my gratitude that you're there. Because 9 times out of 10, you're not there for me. You're there for Delay or there for Bill Bell, whoever I'm opening up for. You're there for them. So I operate from a space of gratitude and graciousness for those people that don't have to listen to. Well, you kind of have to because I'm there, but you don't have to listen to me, but you do. And you give me the gift of laughter because that is your gift to me above anything else, is your laughter, because I know that even if you've had a bad day, for that one chuckle, I made you forget. And I know you forgot because you laughed at me. So that's my goal. I just lead with wanting people, even for just one moment, because I've been that person in a low place and I know what that feels like. And I know how important it is to have someone, even if it's a stranger, just make you feel better. Even if it's just for a moment, that's a moment you'll always remember, that somebody just made you feel good when you felt like crap. So come see me. You won't feel like crap.
Wow. And if you are looking for someone for a new film you have coming up, a new stage play, or if you need a host or a feature, she's available. Hit her up in a DM. And she has an excellent track record for someone who has been out here in such a short period of time. Many celebrities have already called on her. So that speaks volume by itself. So I'm so elated that you took the time to talk to me. I'm so glad that I got to hear your success story, because you will be hitting the big screen. And when you do, I can say, I remember when I talked to her. I saw that young lady. I met her. I wish you the best. Is there anything?
Oh, wait, let me say this. The person in this interview is not the person on stage. So I do caution. I'm not going to talk about sex and all of that. But I'm an adult. So I curse. And I have fun. Not like F this and F not like that. But I do, I have a good time. So
Okay.
Don't expect, I'm not a clean comic. I'm just not overly sexual. I'm not going to talk about my vagina and all that stuff.
Well, I'm glad you put that out there so they know what to expect. Now, if somebody requested it, would you do a clean set?
Yeah, I did some colleges with Ronnie Jordan. Absolutely.
Okay.
I will say this. I'm not ready for church yet.
Okay.
Because,
well, she's telling you, and that's what it is. You have to be able to let people know what to expect. So any closing comment that you want to let the people know about you, anything I haven't asked you that you would like the world to know in regards to what you want to be known for in everything that you do?
Yes. Do it afraid. That's it.
Do it afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Don't hold on to it. Don't overthink it. Just do it.
Do it afraid.
You're going to be
do
afraid.
Your best. That's the adrenaline. Do it afraid.
Wow. That's it. Listen, I want to thank you so much. I wish you the best in all your endeavors to come. I'm going to watch you. I want to see where this journey leads you, because I know it's going to be an exciting ride. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are not following her, please go to her website and follow her. And she's not taking clients. Go support her. Buy her merchandise. Get something on there. And let her know that you are watching her too. We wish you the best with your family and everything that you have. I'll be looking for the pop-up tour when it comes up. Keep me posted. Posted. Definitely want to know what's going on. I know Patricia Crawford says she wants to know, and those that we will be sharing this on many platforms, because we spot people that we think really have something worth seeing. And I know that you have something worth seeing. So I thank you for trusting me to have this conversation with you today.
Thank you for asking. I really appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. A lot of times I tell people, despise not the small beginning, because you just never know who might see it. It just takes one person to see it.
I take everything, man. When somebody reaches out to me, I'm like, yep, I sure will. Because you just never know. You never know who's watching.
That's right.
You may feel like they only have 100 followers. Yeah, but one of them might be a casting director for a blockbuster film.
That's it.
You just don't know.
That's it. Well, you have yourself an amazing evening. Again, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Godspeed to you. I wish you the best. And if I can ever do anything for you to help promote what you have coming up, to share it, to let somebody know, please send it to me. I'm happy to do that for you at
Absolutely,
any time.
I appreciate it.
Anytime you can call on me. Have an amazing evening, and thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back again. Once again, if you have a story, just let us know, because that's what we're here for, to help you get the story told. We connect with each other's story. You know, we learn from one another. Here on Storytime is where human beings connect through life experiences. You know, it's okay to tell the story. My name is Crystal Bodie Smith. My mission is to stir up the gift, instill hope, and save lives. And I'll see you next time on Storytime. 8 p.m. on Tuesdays and 6 p.m. on Sundays Eastern. Bye-bye.